So glad you're with us on the Money. Brad Johansson with Ryan Wheelis from Allied Wealth, and we're talking about something new, at least something new for a lot of people that we haven't done on this show before, because this is a new division that you've created. We're talking about high net worth with a lot of people who are now getting offers and selling their businesses. We've gone through some of the checklist. Here's one of my concerns in doing something like this. When you do something as complicated as selling a business and you're dealing with your employees, you're dealing with what's next, you're dealing with a trust situation, I'm thinking that I'm probably going to have to go from office to office to office to deal with all of these things to try and figure out how I'm going to put this puzzle together in a very quick time frame. Is this now a division that you've created where everything's together?
It is.
I mean, you simply nod and go, that's why we did it, right?
Well, here's the problem. I have a good friend of mine who's a Navy SEAL, and he was actually there in some pretty hairy situations that I won't talk about, but he's been in some stuff you've seen on the news. He's been there, all right?
Really?
And I called him when the COVID crisis was happening.
Okay.
And I said, hey, bud, in the event that all this doom and gloom stuff that I'm reading about happens, what is the one item, the one thing I can have to protect me and my family? And I was shocked by his response. I expected him to say MREs, a gun, ammunition, whatever, all right? You know what he told me? The one thing.
Can I think for a sec?
Yeah.
I'm going to let you go.
A team. A team of cohesive individuals working together to solve the problem you face. And that is exactly why we built the private wealth division at Allied Wealth. And here's the gist of it. If you have a CPA that you work with,
yeah,
and then you have an estate planning attorney.
Okay, CPAs doing taxes.
Estate planning attorneys doing the trust and wills,
estate planning attorneys doing the
family
trust.
partnerships,
okay,
and corporate structures and that sort of thing, or they should be.
Okay.
All right. Maybe you have a business attorney as well, and then you have a financial advisor. Do all of those people talk to one another? And the likelihood of that, Brad, that we see is no, they don't. They simply don't. It's like you've got these various pieces of the puzzle, but they're not put together in a way that's very easy to understand, okay? And here's why this is important. If you sell the business and you build a trust structure and an estate planning structure that mitigates tax liability, maximizes the benefits to your beneficiaries and your charities you choose to give to, all right? How do you know that it's actually going to work the way you implemented it to work? And this is important because if you have beneficiary information in your trust, but the money, where the custodians, where the money's held, the Charles Schwab's, Fidelity's, the banks, wherever you have your money, if the beneficiary designation forms for those accounts don't point to your estate planning documents, your wills, your trust, your family limited partnerships, all that kind of stuff, guess what happens? If you die, the flow of capital does not happen the way you think it does. Because what's on those beneficiary forms at the banks and custodians is the trump card. So you may have set up this trust and this family limited partnership, and you think the money's going to flow the way it's going to go, but it actually flows based on what's on the beneficiary designation forms.
You're taking me back in as you talk about the Navy SEAL and the team and the putting it together and people who are specialized in exactly what they do. And I'm old, so I take back to first time I was asked to jump out of an airplane. I don't know how to jump out of an airplane. And the idea of what it was doing was I was then strapped in a tandem jump with somebody who very specialized in jumping out of an airplane and getting you in. And they would say, this is what a test is to somebody who knows how to get into the building. I'll strap you to help you get into the building. We'll jump off together. I'll take care of that part. Then we'll unstrap and do this. And this is the Navy SEAL team that you have now put together as a division within that specializes so that I'll do what I do best. Let you do what you do best. And we'll talk together to make sure that that team makes sure that we get exactly what we wanted on the jump.
That's exactly right, Brad. That's exactly what we built. We felt it was super important to have a team be cohesive. So we looked at the elements that you go through in the sale of a business, all the transaction part of it, all the after transaction part of it. What professionals are needed along the way?
And you're getting
and
ready
let's
to
build
jump out
a
of a
team.
plane.
That's exactly right. Let's build a team. But let's more importantly make sure that this team communicates together often, has thought leadership articles written together often, has communication, maybe some mastermind sessions. So there's connectivity and cohesiveness with the team. Because going back to what I was saying earlier, if your beneficiary forms don't match what's on your trust documents, here's what happens. There was a Supreme Court case where the beneficiary form did not match the trust document. All right. And so the case went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And the court said, hey, we don't care what the trust says. We only care what this beneficiary document says. So even though the trust dictated where the money went, the money did not go that direction because the beneficiary form went another direction. It didn't match what was on the trust. And the beneficiary form trumped all the estate planning. All the money this person had spent on the estate plan, the family limited partnership, advanced directives, wills and probate stuff, and avoidance stuff, it all didn't even work. So it's so important because the estate planning attorney and the financial advisor weren't communicating with each other.
Here's the problem. The problem is everything that we go back to as we talk about retirement is plan. If you don't have a plan and you react, you're not prepared. This new division is dealing with something maybe that a lot of people hadn't seen before, but feeling like I've got to make a decision right now. I don't have time for a plan. Is this something that people, even in thinking about where they're going with their business before that offer comes in, can reach out to you on this new division?
They absolutely can, Brad, for sure. And that's a great idea. If you're starting to go down the path of thinking about a sale of your business, you should absolutely connect with us sooner than later. And what's going to happen, though, is you are going to be given a due diligence period. It's anywhere from 60, 90 days. I've seen it as long as 180 days in some cases, depending upon the complexity of the entity or entities being purchased, all right? What you want to try to avoid is letting that due diligence period give you like, I've got 60 days to decide what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That can create a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of emotion, especially if you're trying to navigate that alone without a team of professionals who can help you navigate the minefield of selling the business and ending up with you being happy at the end of the sale.
Yeah. If you're in this situation and you're filled with emotion and you want a team that has done this before, what you're looking for is perspective. I haven't figured this out. Allied Wealth has put together a team to make it work for you. We're so glad you're with us. Appreciate your time. And we want to see you in the office. Make a call, 844-944-7555. We can't wait to see you and help you through into your best you.